into the arms I love. I'm the one who wants to love you my way. All the love that we have will find a way. I'll be waiting for you.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week like always. I'm continuing with my Celine Dion discography journey, and we made it to her greatest hits album, her very first English speaking greatest hits album, all the way a decade of song from 1999. Now, this album does have 7 new recordings, 6 of which I've never heard before. I will also say that this greatest hits album has sold more than 22 million copies worldwide. And to put that into perspective, her albums Falling Into You and Let's Talk About Love sold just north of 30 million copies worldwide. I do remember my mom owning this CD, All the Way a Decade of Song. I can see it very vividly, opening up that wicker trunk that she had filled with all her CDs, like Sarah McLachlan, and she also had Let's Talk About Love by Celine Dion as well. I do have fond memories of my mom listening to some of these songs in the car when I was in the back seat when we were headed home from somewhere, I don't know, but it was late at night, and I just remember it being really dark outside, and I was sitting in the back seat looking out the window, and she would play Because You Loved Me and It's All Coming Back to Me Now, and it really did set the mood. And whenever I listen to those two songs in particular, Because You Loved Me and It's All Coming Back to Me Now, it takes me back to that moment when I was a kid with my mom. I will say though, I am a little disappointed with the track listing for this greatest hits album because I feel like this album doesn't encompass all of her greatest hits. For example, she did not include Call the Mad from her Falling Into You album, which I absolutely love. Call the Mad is one of my favorite songs from her Falling Into You album, but I guess this greatest hits album was supposed to encompass all of her mega hits, the cream of the crop, and I guess Call the Mad, for example, wasn't one of them. Now, we did kick off this video with To Love You More, and To Love You More is one of my favorite Celine Dion songs ever. I remember hearing this song for the first time about 5 years ago. I was working at my department retail store at the time, and I heard this song come on, and I knew that it was Celine Dion because her voice is unmistakable. But I didn't know the title of the song, and I was like, what is this song? So I instantly pulled out my phone and Shazammed it. I went home and I downloaded the song, and I kid you not, within the first couple weeks, I probably listened to this song a couple hundred times. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I was addicted to this song. I would listen to this song on my way to work, on my way home from work, when I was at home, on my off time and my spare time. I was obsessed with this song. And obviously, one of my favorite parts of the song is the violin. I can't even articulate how much I love the violin in this song. I also really enjoy the last minute of the song, which is just pure magic. It says here that the lyrics are about a woman who makes an impassioned plea to her lover so that he does not leave her for another woman. I'm also not surprised when I read that To Love You More became one of the most performed songs by Celine during her live shows and was performed in the set list for the Falling Into You Around the World Tour, Let's Talk About Love World Tour, A New Day World Tour, and Taking Chances World Tour, and the 2018 tour, and the final year of her Las Vegas residency show. In my personal opinion, I think that To Love You More is one of Celine Dion's best songs ever. Not just one of my favorite songs, but one of her best songs ever. So now we're gonna move on to track number 2, That's the Way It Is.
I can read your mind.
Alrighty, and that was That's the Way It Is. And what is there to say about that song? Once again, just like To Love You More, That's the Way It is one of my favorite Celine Dion songs ever. This is one of those songs that never gets old. I can listen to it all the time and never get sick of it. What I also love about the song is that it does put you in a positive mindset and mood, so if you're not feeling the best, this song definitely lifts you up and helps you feel better. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. I like the message of the song. And she's essentially saying, do not give up on love, do not give up on the love of your life. Love comes to those who believe and want it the most. Also, towards the middle where she says, baby, don't worry, forget your sorrow, because love's gonna conquer it all. For the longest time, I always thought it was forget your sorrow, because love's going to conquer evil. So now that we're done listening to the two songs I've heard already, we're gonna move on to the songs I haven't heard yet. So track number 3 on this playlist, If Walls Could Talk.
These walls keep a secret. For how long can they keep it? If walls could talk, oh, they would say what you know. When I'm feeling weak, you give me relief. If walls could talk, oh, never felt like this before. And I knew you would always be the one for me. I love you so.
Okay, that was the third song on this playlist, If Walls Could Talk, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this track. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would listen to it again. I did think it was a little boring, but that's just my own opinion. I do like this lyric here. When I hear no violins, you play my every string, so stop the press, hold the news, the secret's safe between me and you. I did think there were some interesting transitions in the song. I don't know if that's the proper word to use, transitions, when it comes to music, but that's the word I'm running with right now. But I feel like this song does pale in comparison to Love You More, and that's the way it is. And it also says that the song was written and produced by Robert John Mutt Lage. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his last name. But for those of you who don't know, he was the husband of Shania Twain. Now, this is the guy who actually cheated on Shania Twain. But that's a whole other topic I won't talk about right now. I'll probably delve further into it when I go on my Shania Twain discography journey, which I've been wanting to go on my Shania Twain discography journey for the longest time. All of 2020, I've been trying to find ways to squeeze it in, but it didn't work out. I was planning on doing it earlier this year, in the spring, but I didn't get around to doing it, so I'm hoping I can squeeze it into 2021 somewhere. And what's also interesting is that Shania Twain actually sang backing vocals on this track. So now we're gonna move on to the next song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face.
Ever saw your face, rose in your eyes.
I've heard this song before. Okay, that was The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and when I was listening to the song, it was gradually coming back to me that I'd heard the song before. Not Celine's version, but the melody and the lyrics were very familiar. And I soon realized where I heard the song before, and I heard it from George Michael's Songs from the Last Century album from 1999, which came out the same year that Celine's Greatest Hits album came out. And that was the first time ever I heard the song, was George Michael's version. And I'm gonna say that I like George Michael's rendition of the song a lot more than Celine's. George Michael's rendition of this song is probably, I want to say it's my favorite song from his Songs from the Last Century album. So that's the version I'll probably continue to go back to. I liked Celine's version. It was very pretty, and it's just a beautifully sung Celine Dion song. It was a beautiful rendition of the song, but it's not a version of the song I would really go back to. And I actually went back to George Michael's version just quickly, and I just love the emotion in his voice when he sings the song. It does say here that the first time ever I saw your face is a 1957 folk song from British political singer-songwriter Ewan McCall. It also says that the Roberta Flack version from 1972 won the Grammy Awards for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, and Billboard ranked it as the #1 Hot 100 Single of the Year for 1972. So now we're gonna move on to a song that's actually not included on the Apple Music version of All the Way, A Decade of Song. For whatever reason, it was removed. Track number 13, All the Way, the duet with Frank Sinatra. So I actually have to listen to it from YouTube.
When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you. Taller than the tallest tree is, deeper than the deep blue sea is. That's how deep it goes. All the way. Who knows where the road will lead us? Deeper than the deep blue seas. All the way.
Alrighty, that was All the Way. It was so nice to hear Frank Sinatra's voice. I love that man's voice so much. Now, this is a Frank Sinatra song from the year 1957. I did really like the song, but I kind of wish that it was only Frank Sinatra singing the song. I love Celine Dion, but my favorite part of the song was Frank Sinatra. This is a great classical song. I do want to listen to Frank Sinatra's version. That might be the version I'll prefer over this one. I did like the song. I probably won't listen to this rendition of the song again, but I definitely have to check out Frank's solo version. I was actually going to listen to the original Frank Sinatra version in this video for you guys right now, but I don't think you guys would want me to do that. I don't think you guys want to see that, so I'm gonna move on to the next Celine Dion song from this Greatest Hits album, which is Then You Look at Me.
Laugh and cry, live and die. Then you look at me, and now you're listening. Then you look at me, on the run, sun to sun.
Alrighty, and that was Then You Look at Me. And out of the last 3 songs I've listened to, this is probably my favorite out of the 3. I wasn't really feeling it the first couple minutes in, but then towards the middle and then the end, she pulled it off, like always, of course. It's Celine, she sounds great, and I really like her vocals on this track in particular, and I really enjoyed it. You know what? I would go back to the song. The song was also released as the second single from her Greatest Hits album, which I'm happy about. The song was also co-written by James Horner, who also wrote her mega successful song, My Heart Will Go On, which is her signature song. And it's also the theme song to the 1999 film, The Bicentennial Man, which I've never heard or seen before. I do think the lyrics are beautiful. Laugh and cry, live and die. Life is a dream, we're dreaming. Day by day, I find my way. Look for the song and the meaning. Then you look at me, and I always see what I have been searching for. So now let's move on to the next song. I Want You to Need Me.
I wanna be the face you see when you close your eyes. I want you to need me, like the air you breathe. When all the taste you feel, you breathe, need you more than you know. I wanna be the face you see when you close your eyes. 'Cause baby, I taste you, feel you, breathe you, need you. Like the air you breathe, I want you to feel me. Like I need you.
Alrighty, and that was I Want You to Need Me, and this was a great power ballad from Celine. She brought the vocals, and once again, she sounds absolutely remarkable. And out of all the songs I've listened to so far, this is probably one of my favorites. I Want You to Need Me, Then You Look at Me, and of course, That's the Way It Is, and To Love You More. I mean, she sang the hell out of the song, and I really enjoyed it. And the song was written by Diane Warren, and that's why the song's so great, because it was written by Diane Warren. I just find a lot of songs written by Diane Warren to be really beautiful. And she has written some of my favorite ballads of all time. So we have come to the end of the album of all the new songs I haven't heard yet. And the final track I'll be listening to is Live for the One I Love.
A million stars light. I have such love to give, to give. For the one I love, free to find my way. For the one I
Okay, that was the final track, Live for the One I Love, and um I probably won't listen to this song again. It is a very beautiful song. It's beautifully composed. It's a very standard sounding Celine Dion song. I don't feel like it's anything special. I feel like I've heard many songs like this before from Celine Dion, so to me it doesn't really stand out. It's not very memorable in my opinion. Is this song a cover? Oh no. Oh no. It says here that the song was originally written for the musical Notre Dame de Paris, and it was recorded in 1997 by Noah, Noa. And the song was originally titled Vivre. I actually did look up the pronunciation of the word, and it's pronounced Vive. So that was all of the new tracks from All the Way a Decade of Song from 1999. And let me just say, she had some great contributors on this album. David Foster and Max Martin and Diane Warren and James Horner. I did listen to a total of 8 songs in this video. And out of those 8 songs, my favorites are probably To Love You More and That's the Way It Is, obviously. And also Then You Look at Me, and I Want You to Need Me. I do feel like some of the new songs on this album were a bit lackluster in comparison to the greatest hits. I do like the song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. I just wasn't the biggest fan of Celine's version. Like I said already, I do prefer George Michael's rendition of the song. I also liked the collaboration with Frank Sinatra, but my favorite part of that song was Frank Sinatra, so I probably would listen to that song again. I do have to check out the original recording by Frank Sinatra. So what did you guys think of the album? Out of all of the new songs from the album, which ones are your favorite? And from the greatest hits side of the album, which of her greatest hits are your favorite? And if you could choose other songs from her past albums to be included on this greatest hits album, which songs would it be? For me, it would definitely be Call the Mad. Another song that is missing from this greatest hits album is Where Does My Heart Be Now? I'm very surprised that that song wasn't included, considering how big of a deal that song was earlier in her career, because this song, Where Does My Heart Be Now, was part of not only her first album, Unison, but also her second album as well. So overall, I really did enjoy myself, but I do prefer the greatest hits side of the album compared to the new tracks. I will also say that when All the Way, A Decade of Song was released in 1999, to cap her 10-year period releasing English-speaking albums starting in 1990, at that point, she had already sold over 100 million records worldwide. The first idea was to record 3 new songs for this greatest hits album, but then Celine said, let's go for 5, her lucky number. But they had so many great songs coming in that they ended up recording 9. Out of that, they decided to go with 7. Hey, why not just release a full album? Why not go the Michael Jackson approach and couple the greatest hits album with a new album like Michael did with his History album? So officially, I think that's all I wanted to say on this greatest hits album. And in my next Celine Dion video, we'll be moving on to a brand new decade, the 2000s. In 2002, she released her next album, her 7th English language album called A New Day Has Come. Now, I will be taking a few weeks off from this Celine Dion discography journey, but I will be starting it up again in January, in the beginning of January, so don't fret. It's going to be a brand new year, so I feel like a great way to celebrate a brand new year is to listen to an album called A New Day Has Come. So look out for that video in the new year in January. And thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists for any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.